Stay tuned to learn how to make this beauty. I fell in love with it, and so will you. All right, what you will need, guys, is 2 garden trellises. I got these from the Dollar Tree. They usually come in black, but the Dollar Tree that I got them from, they came in green, and I couldn't find the black ones anywhere else. So I spray painted these. Spray painted these, and then you are going to need these cable ties, and I got them from the Home Depot. I believe Dollar Tree has them in white. You could use those, push come to shove, and you could spray paint them black if you'd like. But yeah, I got these twist ties, zip ties, or cable ties from Home Depot. You will also need a container of some sort. This is the flowers and garden container that I did get from Dollar Tree. I am also going to be repurposing this container as far as just making it look different. I'm going to be stressing it a little bit, so I am going to use paint for that. It looks a little bit too shiny for what I'm going for, so I'm using some paint. You will need some E6000 glue to help keep things together, and you will need some wire cutters. If you are using a glue gun for anything, you can use these finger protectors. I got these from the Dollar Tree as well. You will also need wire, you guys, and that is because this flower and garden container, you are going to drill 2 holes in it. And this little tape is on here because my husband put it on when he was drilling the holes in, because this keeps it sturdy on the container because it's metal and slippery. So he put these 2 pieces of white tape on to keep the drill steady, and it went right through. If you do not have a drill, you can use a nail or something sharp to puncture the holes through this container. And you will need flowers. So the Dollar Tree has many nice floral picks for you to choose from. Just get the ones that appeal to you, and we'll get started. All right, guys, so getting started, what you want to do is line up the trellises, and the top should come to a V. And that's how you know that they are straight and in the right order. So we're going to use the zip ties to secure. After you use the zip ties, you can also go back and put some E6000 on there on these parts, and I'll show you that in a second. So one at the top where the V is, and then we're going to do the second one down in this left corner. And get it as tight as you can. The next one, we're going to go over to the right corner and secure it that way. Get it as tight as you can. And there we are. I'm going to also go down here at the bottom, or close to the bottom, and I'm going to put one here just to give it a little more security. As tight as you can. Also, you guys, to blend your paints, you're going to need a foam brush. If you do not have a foam brush, that is okay. You can use a twisted up piece of paper toweling or a sponge or just something to dot the paint on. Also, if you do not have twist ties, I forgot to tell you this earlier, if you do not have twist ties, you can use the bread ties, or if you have buns or anything, any kind of ties will work on this as long as you can get them tight. And you can then spray paint them black if you want to on the areas that they are going to be seen. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way for a second, and I'm going to blend my paints. And because I am going for a distressed look on this Flowers and Garden 10, I am going to go ahead and get my paint blended. I want like a slate grayish color, And even though this is grayish, it's more silver and bright, I need something a little bit toned down. So I'm going to go ahead and get that mixed. So I have the color that I'm looking for, and I'm going to go ahead and start sponging my container. So for the most part, I covered it up. You can still see the flowers and garden through the paint, which is fine with me. Just wanted a more toned down gray look, more earthy gray look. And so I have it. So I'm going to sit it to the side so that it can dry. And while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and get this together. I'm going to go ahead and snip these ties. Okay, and this is what you're looking for right here. Now you can turn this, of course, over this way. And when we begin working on the container part with the flowers, we're going to have it turned that way so that the ties are towards the back. If you all will be using this as a front door welcome hanger, you will cut off all the ends. But because I am going to be sticking mine in the ground in my front yard, I am going to just cut off the rough little ends up here that are poking out and a couple that are here, places that will be seen. You will have to use something that's strong to cut these wires, the end pieces that we're hanging, because it is a little hard. So you're going to have to kind of twist and turn to get the wires cut. That one is gone. And now I just have to get this one. All right, guys, so now I'm going to use the E6000 just to adhere things even more. This has an overlap in it right here, which is fine if you're okay with that. I'm okay with it, but I'd rather it be like this. And so I want to get that taken care of. And right here where these meet, I just want to put some glue there so that they will not stray open. And just in a couple of places. And I do wear my gloves when I am using the E6000 because it's not good for you to get it on your skin. And it's not good to breathe in these vapors at all. So you hear outside noises because I have the windows open. I'm in the back room. So yes, be careful with this E6000. You can use a glue gun in this step if you want to emit the E6000. Until I'm ready to work on this again, I'm going to go ahead and spray this coating finish on here so that this will not run. It shouldn't run anyway, but I just want to put a finish, a coating on it so that it will stay intact. All the paint will stay intact. All right, guys, so before I spray the coating, the clear coating, before I spray it onto the container, I'm going to affix it onto the trellis with these twist ties. I just thought it would be better if I just spray the whole thing at once with a coating. So the way that the holes in my container was sitting, and opposed to the trellis poles, I had to do a little shimmying up. So this side came down a little lower. I had to anchor it and pull it with the twist ties to make it straight. So whatever you have to do to get it straight, sometimes it will not come out perfectly because of the way the trellis is a little crooked, so you have to kind of play with it to get it straight. So right now, guys, you want to go ahead and spray the whole piece with this clear matte coating, and this is the Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover 2X, and you want to spray the whole thing, like I said, and let it dry. Now we're going to use this foam that I've also bought from Dollar Tree. This was $1, and you're going to go ahead and put E6000. Well, you can use either or, but I'm going to use both because I want this to stick really good. It's going to be outside in the wind, rain, and everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and put E6000 in the bottom and hot glue and secure the foam to the inside of the container, which is a perfect size. Again, when using the E6000, I am wearing gloves, so I'm just going to put some inside of here on the bottom. You do not have to let that dry first. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the hot glue in. And now you can go ahead and affix the foam to the bottom of the container. And you do want to press to make sure that it adheres. And you can let it dry for about 5 minutes. Of course, the E6000 will take longer, but this is not going to move inside of the container, so it's okay. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and start placing my greenery into my container. This is a little bit of faux fern, and then this is, I believe this is ivory, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and place this in here. You can place any greenery in here that you want to, and then start placing your flowers. So now, as you see, I put the greenery in there, and it's going to add more greenery when I put the flowers in because of the greenery that's already on there. I'm choosing blue, greens, and creams for my floral piece, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm hoping you can see that. You always want to put some type of filler flower in your piece to add just more oomph and personality. So I chose these, and they look like grape clusters. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. And do expect that your hands are going to get dirty from the paint and whatever else you're going to use. So, but it's coming out beautifully so far. Alright guys, so I am back with the last two steps. First one being that I just made this welcome sign. You probably can't see it. You might be able to make it out through the tape. But I have a silhouette cameo, and I went ahead on my Oracle vinyl and just cut out welcome. So now I am going to take the tape off, which will have welcome stuck to it. This is foam core right here, foam core board. I am going to measure this sign out, how big it is. I'm going to make it a little bigger, and then I'm going to place it on my centerpiece. So I'll show you how I do it. And you all can probably hear neighbors on all sides of me. So I have the windows open when I'm crafting, doing this stuff for the backyard. So you'll hear some noise. So I'm just pulling this away. You have to make sure it comes off carefully. And there we go. Now I just have to, I left my weeding tools downstairs, so. Oh no, messed up my nail polish. Hold on. I said, ooh, mercy, not the nail polish. So take that off. Let's see if I can fold it back and get it. I have a pick especially for this, but I don't feel like going back down I don't feel like going in the house and downstairs. So there we go. And it's going to be on the right side once I flip it over onto the foam core board. Okay, so I'm going to kind of mark where I want to measure, and I just want it a little bit bigger than the actual word welcome. So I'm going to kind of mark. The flip side will be the actual side that it's going to be put on. So I am marking on the actual underside of where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to, I think I want it about that big. So I'm going to make precision measurements here in a second. I'm going to measure that out evenly, make sure it's even on all sides, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Most likely with an X-Acto knife, if I can find my husband's, and I'll be back. Okay, so I made my measurements and kind of carved it and just Did it on this side like this, and you can just bend it and break it apart. And here's the foam core board sign I'll cut out. I'm going to go ahead and put the word welcome on there. So here's the word welcome, and I'm going to go ahead and center that on there as much as I can. I'm going to turn it around towards me so I can make sure I'm doing this even. Okay, so I've pressed it on there, and now I'm going to peel it away. And it came out great. So now I'm going to spray this, and I'm going to glue it, probably with E6000, onto my centerpiece. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this Rust-Oleum clear coat on here. This will protect it. I'm going to spray all sides of this so that through rain and different things like that, it will not get messed up. Okay, so real time, you guys. I was out spraying and trying to preserve my little sign, and I had on my dirty garden gloves trying to protect my hand, and I should have had on clear gloves, but I did not. So what I'm going to do, which was probably a blessing in disguise because this looks just too stark right on that sign, I'm going to make some pretty little smushes, trying to make some little floral prints around the edges, and we're going to see what we come up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this paint on here, and then I'm going to spray it all over again, not using my dirty garden gloves. Okay, so I went ahead and mixed a couple of blues together, and let's see what we come up with. So here it is, came out really nice. I'm pleased with it. So it's trimmed in the colors of the trellis centerpiece. And I'm going to go ahead and spray this with the Rust-Oleum clear coating. And I'm going to go ahead and get this on, glued on my trellis centerpiece. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and put the sign here just to see what it looks like. I think I'm going to have some of the greenery coming up over it a little bit. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. I'm going to get it glued on, everything situated, and I'll come back and show you what everything looks like. All right, guys, here it is. It came out beautifully. I love it. I am in love with it. I love the colors. They look so natural, even though this is a faux piece, meaning it is fake. It's not real flowers, of course. It's going to stay beautiful for a long time. I don't have to mess with it, water it, do this and that. It's going to look like this for the whole summer. So I love it. I just love it. What I did learn, you guys, is that depending on the material and depending on the size of the object that you're working with, the glue gun is best to use first. When it's tricky to get things to glue down, the glue gun is best to use first to keep the object stationary and glued, because the glue sticks, it dries fast with the glue gun. Now the E6000, you put that on after the glue gun dries, after about 2 to 5 minutes. You go ahead and finish it off with the E6000, and then you have to wait a good 24, 48 hours or whatever after that to, do whatever you're going to do with it, because it's very, glued and basically cemented then. But yeah, these glue gun, I wouldn't trust it in the sunlight because it could melt the glue. I've heard other people say it could melt the glue, so that's why I wouldn't trust it by itself. But yeah, the E6000 is a beast. You just have to finagle with it. I am very pleased with it, like I said, and I just glued a couple, not this one, but this one here and this one. I glued it a little bit, kind of overlapping the sign, and it looks more natural even, and I just love it. I just love it. So I'm hoping that you can see the whole thing. I'm hoping you can see that whole thing. It is gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and sit it up where it's supposed to go, and I'll let you see what it looks like in the yard. Also, if you like to add a little zhuzh to your container, you can use this burlap ribbon. I got this at the Dollar Tree. Kind of makes it look a little farmhousey. You can use any kind of ribbon if you'd like. So I'm thinking about putting this on, and yeah, Should give it a little bit of a different look.